right. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining me tonight for the album launch. So, I'm going to jump right into the first song and then I'll tell you a little bit more about it. If you have any questions during the evening, preferably questions about the songs or the Kickstarter, I will be happy to answer those. When it's time for cutting, there's so many shears about. It might seem hard to choose. Grab any pair, they'll do the job, I have no doubt. There's just one thing you cannot do. Don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch Mama's sewing shears. Don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch Mama's sewing shears. Have you seen the pair lying in the kitchen drawer? They'll cut through solid bone. And just last week we got some safety scissors from the store, but you better leave Mama's sewing shears alone. Don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch Mama's sewing shears. Don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, please don't touch, don't you touch Mama's sewing shears. If you've got some hairs to trim, check neath the bathroom sink. For pruning, look inside the shed. There's ones to slice or snip or pare, and even ones that pink. But grab those orange-handled shears, you're dead. Don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch Mama's sewing shears. Don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch Mama's sewing shears. Now Mama's prized possessions aren't what you'd guess. She's got no chest of furs and jewels, but that don't mean she cares about them any less. She keeps a watchful eye on all her tools. Don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch Mama's sewing shears. Don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, just don't touch, don't you touch Mama's sewing shears. Don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch Mama's sewing shears. Don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch, don't you touch Mama's sewing shears. Hey, Thomas and Enfys and Madison and whoever else is out there right now. Thank you so much. I'm very excited about this album. It's just so much fun. So I'm really looking forward to performing these songs for you tonight and telling you a little bit more about them. So a little plug for Madison. She's got a program on Facebook called Tricks 666. Madison, if you want to throw a link in there, you're welcome to do that. And I'm going to be her guest. She has a different friend slash musician colleague to perform on the show every week. And I will be on there on December 14th, I believe it is. Hey, John, good to see you. I don't know. There's so much I want to talk about. I'm going to lose track of my thoughts right now. But that song, Don't You Touch Mama's Sewing Shears. Oh, what I wanted to ask you is let me know if the volume is okay, if I need to tweak anything, or if it's coming through well for you all. So I don't know how many of you grew up with this, but I feel like it's a very common thing that there was one pair of scissors in the house that were only for fabric, and you did not use them for anything else. Doesn't matter what, you are hands off unless you are cutting fabric. And even then, you probably want permission and assistance from the mama bear. So in my house, they were orange-handled shears. And in my house now, I also have the orange-handled shears, and they are the fabric scissors. And my husband knows not to touch them for anything but fabric because he grew up with the same thing with his mom. So I don't know how many of you have had that experience, but okay, good. Thank you on the volume question. Um, so I would play this song for my mom a while back, and she's like, yeah, how come you listen to that rule, but you ignored all the other ones? Now, I think I was not a bad kid, but I was definitely a messy kid playing with craft supplies. But yeah, I took the orange-handled shears, the fabric sewing shears, very seriously. So that's right. Yes, Callie. This next song is about the need to breathe when you're stressing out. And it covers two sort of different aspects of that. One is sort of the everyday mundane, you're stressed out, things just aren't going quite right. Breathe. The other aspect, if you have watched the show Kid Cosmic, um, it's about, well, you'll hear some of the details in the song, but it says no matter what, whether you're just like stressed because you have to make dinner or you're stressed because you're trying to save the galaxy, just take a deep breath, then keep going. Tightening. Oh no. Oh, dads can get in big trouble that way. This is called freaking out, breathing out. Sorry, freaking out, breathe it out. Whether your stress is a personal mess or a world on the brink of war, for our anxieties we seek all remedies, chemical, spiritual, we beg for more. All of these therapies take time, and currently time is too precious to pay. Can you suggest something? Yes, we'll take anything that will start working today. Papa G says, freaking out, breathe it out, freaking out, breathe it out, just breathe, just breathe. Well, it may not make life perfect, as if there were even such a thing, but I promise you it's worth it to breathe. Freaking out, breathe it out, freaking out, breathe it out, just breathe, just breathe. Perhaps you didn't sleep too well last night. Your mind spun in circles, wrapping you up tight. Or perhaps you've got some aliens invading. Waves of baddies, big and small, can be so frustrating. Papa G says, freaking out, breathe it out, freaking out, breathe it out, just breathe, just breathe. Well, it may not make life perfect, as if there were even such a thing, but I promise you it's worth it to breathe. Freaking out, breathe it out, freaking out, breathe it out, just breathe, just breathe. Perhaps you didn't finish off your checklist. More tasks on tomorrow, you beg it to desist. Or perhaps a portal sent you across the cosmos to gather stones of power and defeat some dork named Phantos. Not Thanos, Phantos, but similar. Papa G says, freaking out, breathe it out, freaking out, breathe it out, just breathe, just breathe. Well, it may not make life perfect, as if there were even such a thing, but I promise you it's worth it to breathe. struggle daily to be present, to let go an unremitting grasp on the unpleasant. Or perhaps you travel through the galaxy, saving planets, facing death with your adopted family. Papa G says, freaking out, breathe it out, freaking out, breathe it out, just breathe, just breathe. Well, it may not make life perfect, as if there were even such a thing, but I promise you it's worth it to breathe. Freaking out, breathe it out, freaking out, breathe it out, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. Hey, Beth. Hi, April. I haven't seen you in a while. I always know there's a few friends out there who can appreciate the crafty songs, and you're certainly one of them. You get the fabric scissors. I keep thinking that I need to send a link to this song to my therapist, because one of the things that we always talk about at the end as we wrap up, he kind of reviews like stress management techniques, and one of the big ones is breathing. So it's something you can always come back to. This has nothing to do with that, but if you haven't checked out the Kickstarter yet, there is one reward that's only available for the first 24 hours, and it's a limit of 5 people can back it, and it gets you a little hand-knit sheep from me, hailing back all the way to Sheep for Wood. And it also allows you to ask me any question you would like about a song or about Rhiannon's Lark or whatever, and I will answer that question for you. Yes. Nice. Yeah, every once in a while I'll write a song. I'll be like, hey, therapist, I gotta share this with you. This next one is about a very empowered woman, General Leia Organa. It's called More Than Just a Gold Bikini. I feel like there's not a lot of backstory I need to give on this, because I think it pretty much speaks for itself. I'm a damsel in control. I'm not sorry that I broke your mold. Centuries of powerful women before me, and still you need me to tell you these tropes are old. You want to define me as a princess locked away. Let me remind you that I shoot 10 times straighter than the best stormtrooper, and I let my own escape. I mean, somebody had to save our skins. I'm more than just a gold bikini. I'm more than anything you think you see. There's a rebel and a diplomat, a warrior and a leader here in me. You want to define me as a slave in scanty dress. Let me remind you that I slew my own captor with the chains by which he bound me. Are you suitably impressed? I'm more than just a gold bikini. I'm more than anything you think you see. as a fading memory. Let me remind you that I mentored the last Jedi, a woman strong and thereby she'll carry forth our legacy. I'm more than just a gold bikini. I'm more than anything you think you see. As a rebel and a diplomat, a warrior and a leader here in me. As a rebel and a diplomat, a warrior and a leader here in me. As I said, I have a lot of fun playing these songs. There's some serious ones, obviously, but I'm getting a lot of joy out of this album, which is so nice. Also, while I am going to keep throwing in little bits about the Kickstarter, I am not expecting everyone to back it. I know there's a lot of stuff going on right now. I mean, it's holiday time and inflation and COVID is still a thing, and that is absolutely fine. I feel like the best way to promote myself is just to make music because I love doing it and I love having you guys out there. Backing is great, but it's not the only important thing. So I hope you're all having a great time. Thank you. Hey, Peter. I like that, Jennifer. The sheep baron. The colonel of the cattle, if there was such a thing. I see the unicorn. You guys see my unicorn? I got a mirror here. Got my sparkly unicorn. You probably can't see it because it's a little too bright, but I put on silver nail polish, which is not a normal thing for me to match. I'm going to do one of those more serious songs for you right now. This is a tribute to the winter solstice. I want you to picture yourself in like a medieval banquet hall, and there's several fireplaces scattered about, and there's a crowd gathering to spend the longest night together and await the dawn. Gather friends in the hall, the night draws close. A waiter, await. Share the stories of the years. Sing the triumphs, sing the fears. Gather friends in the hall, the night draws close. A waiter, await. Lay a log on the fire, the darkness falls. A waiter, await. Pass the jug around, raise a toast to the shadows, to your host. Lay a log on the fire, the darkness falls. A waiter, await. Find a place to be still, the vigil lasts. A waiter, await. Kneel in silence, kneel in prayer. Be uncertain, be aware. Find a place to be still, the vigil lasts. A waiter, await. Feel the promise that comes, the dawn is nigh. Await her, await. Rouse the children, raise your sight. Seek the daybreak, seek the light. Feel the promise that comes, the dawn is nigh. Awaken, awake. Greet the first day with joy, the year has turned. Awaken, awake. Breathe potential as you go. Live in wonder, live and grow. Greet the first day with joy, the year has turned. Awaken, awake. Awaken, awake. Awaken, awake. One thing I'm sort of looking forward to, hopefully it's going to happen this coming summer, is a return to some of the pagan festivals. Conventions have come back to some degree, and I've gotten to go to some of those, including PhilCon, my first PhilCon recently. But a lot of festivals have still been canceled or very minimized, and it's just a different feel and a different set and a whole different energy to perform at a pagan festival versus a gaming convention. All right, so I should probably do, yes, big gatherings. It's like you're doing it a little bit. It's still kind of a sketchy proposition. I feel like I should do the title track for the album. So I'm wearing my unicorn. Cylinder becomes unicorn. I'm going to tell you the story in the song. But I think a lot of us, sort of start discovering who we feel like we really are as adults. And sometimes it's, as a young adult, and sometimes it's after you retire. And I feel like the last year or two, I've really been uncovering a lot of things that, I kind of put on myself from outside expectations, and I'm finding the ability to strip some of that away through therapy and just meditative practice, and paying more attention to, what I want and need versus what I can do or what I think others would like me to do. And so this is a song about, as you're sort of discovering this new self, you still get pulled back into the old one, especially when you're in, familiar situations that you've been in for many years, and you just kind of get tied back into that old self and you're trying to let it go. So this is Cylinder Becomes Unicorn. I was raised upright as a cylinder, a perfect little polished round peg, and I fit so well in that little round hole. It comforted my heart and soul. And my friends all saw me as a cylinder, for they were all cylinders too. It just made sense to live like that, to do the things that cylinders do. And we all were mighty fine cylinders, mighty fine cylinders were we. And we didn't give a thought to a cube or a cone, or the shape we'd be when we were full grown. Then my soft edges started sharpening, my symmetry was off a tad. I didn't quite fit in that little round hole. It felt like I had lost control. I I was baffled looking in the mirror at the shape looking back at me. It wasn't quite this, it wasn't quite that. I couldn't tell what I was meant to be. But I used to be a mighty fine cylinder. A mighty fine cylinder was I. And I didn't give a thought to a cube or a cone, or the shape I'd be when I was full grown. Then my shape found new definition that was free to grow. While it wasn't quite how I was born, it seems I'd become a unicorn. And my friends all see me as a unicorn, for they are unique beings too. With wings and horns and fairy dust, it's magical when you are you. And these days I'm a mighty fine unicorn. A mighty fine unicorn am I. And I don't give a thought to a cube or a cone, or the myriad ways I could have grown. There are times when I am expected to be the cylinder that I once was, but this thought I have rejected. And while this change may give you pause, I just can't fit where I did before. Please don't ask me anymore. For these days I'm a mighty fine unicorn. A mighty fine unicorn am I. And I don't give a thought to a cube or a cone, or the myriad ways I could have grown. Oh, thank you, Jane. I think, one of the things that's really helped me uncover some of these different aspects of myself is, finding friends and support, not support groups in that sense, but supportive community like the Filk community that, when I try out new things, it's like, maybe this is me, and they're embraced. That's a wonderful way to support me and encourage me to be the person that I want to be. Oh, thank you, guys. So one of the things that I've been messing with lately, I've been doing a lot of art for myself. I have never considered myself a two-dimensional artist, but I've done some retreats over the last couple of years where art was really used to help find some insight. And I've also spent a lot of years working together with art therapists in my work as a music therapist. And so now I've been doing a lot of art for myself, and I decided that I kind of wanted to expand that a little bit and do illustrations of the songs for this album. So you'll find some information about that at the Kickstarter. My highest stretch level, if I should get there, is to actually do a printed Filk book, a spiral-bound Filk book with the lyrics and chords on one side and then my illustrations on the other side. And, I do a lot of like abstract stuff and just playing with colors, and most of it's multimedia, so I'm playing with oil pastels and chalks and watercolors and acrylics and glitter and stickers and whatever else comes my way that seems appropriate for the moment. So, hey, lots of familiar names. Hello, Pat and Eric, and I feel like I just saw somebody else scoot by that I missed. My chat window is fairly small. All right, I'm going to switch over to AutoHeart for a little bit. So let me know if you have any questions. So I'm excited because I've been playing the auto harp for several years, but I just finally got the courage to go into my luthier and say, "Hey, can you drill holes in this so I can put a strap on it and actually play it standing up?" So I'm just still kind of getting used to that, and it's been going pretty well. The very first time though that I put it on and I was, adjusting the strap and trying to figure out exactly how I wanted to hold it, I managed to whack myself in the face a couple of times with the auto harp, and she's a heavy girl. Her name is Lucille. All right, so I can't say that I necessarily have a favorite song on this album because I like them all, but this one is so much fun to play. I'll give you a little story about it. So I think most of you who have done like a summer vacation, camping or going to a small town, there's always like the Bob's Big Breakfast kind of place, where they have the sign out front that's like, "You'll never go home hungry," and "Home of the giant breakfast," and all that kind of stuff. And so there's one of those up near our camp on Trout Lake, a little north of Lake George area. And we drove by it on our way home towards the end of the summer, and I just kind of glanced over, and there were two people like locked in this really long, serious embrace. And my first thought was, I don't usually see like major emotional things happening outside of Bob's Big Breakfast. But then I thought about it more. It was like, well, it actually does kind of make sense because where better to go when you're having heavy emotions than a place that can fill you up with carbs? So this song is called The Pancake Oubliette. And the idea is that maybe someday when I retire from music, I'm going to open up this cafe and it's just going to be a goal to fill everybody with carbs and, just like soften those emotions to a comfortable level. If you're not familiar with the term, this is also called the pancake place of forgetting. Hey, howdy, dearie, come on in and have a seat. I'll be right there, I'll get you something good to eat. Just take a little looky at the would also like a pancake oubliette t-shirt. um, so I have to say, when I started practicing that song for recording the album, I had also just started the keto diet, which, if you're not familiar, is like no carbs. So I'm singing about like pancakes and waffles and donuts. And I'm like, I can't eat carbs. Exactly. You have to figure out the story of the strudel. The next auto harp song I want to do for you is called The Great British Baking Show. One sheep left. Oh my. All right, if you guys want a sheep, better get on it. So earlier on in the pandemic, I spent a lot of time knitting with the Great British Baking Show on sort of in the background. And that was my zen, de-stress kind of thing. And I'm talking about the original Great British Baking Show with Mary Berry and Paul and Mel and Sue as the hosts. I mean, I still like it to some degree now, but I liked it better then. So that's what this is about. If you're not familiar with the show, I hope you'll still enjoy the fun of the song. It's the Great British Baking Show. How did I never know the blissful appeal, the Valium-like feel of watching these bakers knead dough? It's the signature challenge to start. These bakes need to come from the heart. Traditions of old and new flavors bold. Each bite is a work of art. What will the verdict be? Will it be sheer perfection? The judges come round to the tables to partake of each baker's confection. A bite, a pause, and then it's raw. Tati buys and it's off to the next round. The technical challenge comes now. None of these bakers know how. The recipe's sparse, Mel and Sue lead the farce, and mistakes simply can't be allowed. What will the verdict be? Will it be sheer perfection? The judges come round to the tables to partake of each baker's confection. A bite, a pause, and then soggy bottom. Tati buys and it's off to the next round. The showstopper challenge comes last. Pour alcohol more than a splash. There are people in tears, many blunders and cheers as the towering cakes are amassed. What will the verdict be? Will it be sheer perfection? The judges come round to the tables to partake of each baker's confection. A bite, a pause, and then a Hollywood handshake. Tati buys and it's off to the end. One final judging occurs over tea. We see shots of sheep, flowers, and bees. Star bakers awarded, one baker's dreams thwarted. Tati buys and it's on to the next episode. Tati buys and it's on to the next episode. That is a good point, Thomas. Surprisingly, it doesn't affect me that way. Like even when I was watching it earlier in the pandemic and I was spending a lot of time eating comfort foods and like bugles and stuff like that, I didn't feel the need to go eat baked goods. There's just something about it that's like super relaxing for me. And I've never been into cooking shows. So this wasn't like, oh yeah, another cooking show. That was the first time I've ever watched anything like that. And I love it. Okay, I was trying to figure out what that emoji or image was. I think it's a slice of pie, maybe a slice of cake. So I've got one more that I want to do for you on auto harp, and this is one of the maybes for the album. So the first stretch goal is to add 2 extra songs to the album. This is one of the extras that I may or may not have mixed and mastered. This is about Sean Bean, the actor. If you're not familiar, he's played a lot of well-known characters. He was Ned Stark in Game of Thrones, and he was Boromir in Lord of the Rings, and he's played, a ton of roles. So if you look him up, you will probably recognize him if you're into movies and TV at all. And this is a song about how he famously dies in the majority of his roles. It's called "Take One for the Team," Sean Bean. Take one for the team, Sean Bean, take one for the team. We wager you're prepared to die in the upcoming scene. We've come to hate and love you in your roles upon the screen. Now it's time to take one for the team, Sean Bean. Captured well a smug yet skillful lord, a portrait of the weaknesses of man. The wandering preyed upon you, and you tread a darkening path, but you fought to make a hero's last stand. Take one for the team, Sean Bean, take one for the team. We wager you're prepared to die in the upcoming scene. We've come to hate and love you in your roles upon the screen. Now it's time to take one for the team, Sean Bean. In Patriot games you came on strong as a vengeful terrorist, filled up to the brim with rage and rancor. Time and time again you fought Jack Ryan to the brink, till he finally impaled you on an anchor. Take one for the team, Sean Bean, take one for the team. We wager you're prepared to die in the upcoming scene. We've come to hate and love you in your roles upon the screen. Now it's time to take one for the team, Sean Bean. You should have known by Game of Thrones the fate you had secured, yet your virtue forced us all to love you. We sat in shock and horror mute when Joffrey claimed your head, and the mighty ice slice you clean through. Many actors are typecast as villains we can hate, or as heroes meant to inspire. But you chose a different path. With bated breath we wait to see how you will expire. Take one for the team, Sean Bean, take one for the team. We wager you're prepared to die in the upcoming scene. We've come to hate and love you in your roles upon the screen. Now it's time to take one for the team, Sean Bean. All right, so that's it for the auto harp. Give me just a minute to put her away. It's a good time if you have any questions you want to put in the chat. Back to Rhea. Thank you. See, it's a nice mix. I love all the albums in their own way. But I've told a couple of people I have felt more excited and just having a lot of fun working on this album more so, I think, than any album since the first full length one I released under Rhiannon's Lark, Sky Full of Phoenix. There's just a lot more of a return to that kind of like fun storytelling and personal messages, but in a lighter way than some of the things on The Long Road. And I think that really reflects where I'm at, where I was at a couple of years ago when I wrote a lot of those songs, and, to some extent where the world was at, although that has not changed as much as I would like. But personally, I am just in a much, much better place. And so it's nice to see that reflected in the upbeat of the music. What are your questions, folks? Not a problem. So a little more information about some upcoming concerts. On December 11th, which is one of my rare weekend concerts, I'm going to do an afternoon show. And I might do some songs from this album, but it's going to be more of just a hodgepodge. So if you have requests, particularly if you want to let me know ahead of time so I can try to have things prepared. And I think I'm probably going to throw in some holiday stuff too, because I know people like to hear some of the nice classics in there. And I've been practicing those for all my senior shows. So I've got lots of holiday stuff that I'm working on, including some new ones like I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas, which is a lot of fun to play. All right, so this is another one of my favorite songs from the album. And because everybody has their own nerd tracks that they're into. And for me, like the biggest one is board gaming. Like I live for board gaming. And so I decided this time to add a backer level where you get to play board games with me online. I have a premium membership to Board Game Arena, and there's a ton of stuff on there. And so that's an option. If that interests you more than doing a concert, you can play games with me. The song is called House Rules. Might be because the game is old. Playtesting wasn't quite the same back then. I reread the instructions and we made some deductions, but it's still not clear. Now we're faced with a choice. I can't find the answer on BGG. We can quit barely halfway, but I've taken a survey and I think it's time for house rules. They're just tools to enhance our enjoyment of the game. Let's be plain, I don't care what you say, you're in my house now. Might be because the game is flawed. One player always ends up snowballing. There's no catch-up mechanic, now her lead is gigantic, but we can't just quit. We still got about 2 hours to play. We all sit here wondering what's the point. Games don't have to be equable, but this one's inflexible. I think it's time for house rules. They're just tools to enhance our enjoyment of the game. Let's be plain, I don't care what you say, you're in my house now. Might be because we got bored. It's definitely because we got bored. While they won't last forever, gosh, we all feel so clever laying down the laws. We won't alter theming or story. We'll just tweak a few things here and there. It's not based on ambitions, we won't change end conditions, but I think it's time for house rules. They're just tools to enhance our enjoyment of the game. Let's be plain, I don't care what you say, you're in my house now. What if we had wild cards and rid of free discards. We could put an empty space right there, it's not out of place. Change the currency a bit, force the bonus to be split. One re-roll, drop that goal. We've got full control with house rules. They're just tools to enhance our enjoyment of the game. Let's be plain, I don't care what you say. It's house rules. They're just tools to enhance our enjoyment of the game. Let's be plain, I don't care what you say. You're in my house now. A hippo Christmas. Yeah, it's one that I don't hear a lot these days. I was meaning to work on Dominic the Donkey, and I completely forgot to download that one. Hey, Tin Man. You always show up under a different handle. It's good that you told me who it was. Not with Madison tonight, but I will be on her show later this month, the 14th. Thanks, Eric. Yeah, I have a feeling I was kind of debating for a little bit. I was like, maybe I should just name the album House Rules because this song seems to resonate with a lot of people. But I decided to keep it with the overall message of The Cylinder Becomes Unicorn. All right, Jane, have a good night. Thanks for coming on. So we have just passed the 500 mark on the Kickstarter. Means we're 20% of the way there. So thank you guys for all of the backing already. All right, so this next one, some of you who are on the email list know about my character, Vradok the Barbarian. For a couple of years, I was part of this group campaign that started in person and then moved online with COVID. And this barbarian was, you know, the standard sort of raging, hitting big beast. And he always carried the bag of holding. And I was thinking about, you know, there's so much crap in there that we never, ever used. And in my own life, I am also trying to do not quite minimalist. That's not exactly what I would call it for myself, but just, you know, getting rid of things that don't get used, that don't have a place, and not having so many decorations in the house that you can't really focus on one at a time. I like to keep things with a little space in between so you can appreciate them all. So I was inspired to write this song called The Minimalist Barbarian, also known as Marie Kondo and the Bag of Holding. So if you're not familiar with Marie Kondo, she's the one who does the whole minimalist, you know, get rid of everything in your life that doesn't spark joy. And so Vradok decided that he was going to listen to that advice and go through the bag of holding and evaluate what was worth keeping. My name is Vradok. I'm a barbarian. I'm really handy with an axe. When I'm not swinging, you'll find me carrying a bag of holding filled with our knickknacks. And though a year ago it seemed quite nifty, every day I get more thrifty. Why do I need this ogre hook or an empty spell book, feathers from a bird who we fought, or this iron pot, as I am considering Con Marie, she speaks to me. Does it spark joy? Does it make your life meaningful? Will you use it every day? Listen to my words and keep your stuff minimal. Let it go, give it away. Does it spark joy? Does it make your life meaningful? Will you use it every day? do we need these dead crows? Or these 14 crossbows, water skin that's filled with wine? Or these long swords, we've got 9. As I am considering, Con Marie, she speaks to me. Does it spark joy? Does it make your life meaningful? Will you use it every day? Listen to my words and keep your stuff minimal. Let it go, give it away. So I take her words to heart, dump the bag and make a fresh start. Why do I need bracers of shield, or this flail we can't wield, grappling hook I've never thrown, or the finger of a crone? As I am considering, Con Marie, she speaks to me. Does it spark joy? Does it make your life meaningful? Will you use it every day? Listen to my words and keep your stuff minimal. Let it go, give it away. Does it spark joy? Does it make your life meaningful? Will you use it every day? Listen to my words and keep your stuff minimal. Let it go, give it away. Just because you have the space doesn't mean you need to fill it. I've got a couple more for you all tonight. So if you're enjoying the concert and you want to share it on Facebook, or post a YouTube link somewhere to share it with other people who might enjoy, I would be happy to have you do that. The more I get out there, the more people I get to interact with and sing with. I'm going to do a song that if Beth is still on, she will appreciate. So this is another one about a TV show that I really enjoyed called Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beasts. It's a really sweet cartoon, really nice, positive themes, and just super cute, and I really enjoyed it. And sometimes when I'm inspired, it just comes up, like the whole idea just comes to me, like the chorus will pop into my head when I wake up in the morning, and then the song kind of evolves from there. And other times there's something that I really enjoy, and I know that there's a song brewing, but I don't know exactly what the theme is going to be. And so that's how it was with Kipo, because I got a lot out of the show, and I was like, oh, I want to write something in appreciation of this show. But there's so many interesting characters, and just, like I said, the cute factor and the fun factor, and I was trying to figure out, where to go with it. And my friend Beth is really into the frog is really into one of the characters, who is a frog dressed in a nice suit. And he sometimes rides a dragonfly. And so I was thinking about this character, Jamak, and I'm not sure if I would call him one of the main characters, sort of, but he has a nice story arc. And I wanted to do something with that. And so it became this song about how difficult it can be when you want to belong to a group, but all of the groups that are around you are not the right fit. And so you try to force yourself to belong with them, and it's not right, but it feels like it's better than being alone. And then you finally find the right group. So this is called Belonging. A month ago, I had all of these songs perfectly memorized. And then I started working on all of the senior shows, because I'm doing 2 different set lists this month, plus the holiday stuff. And so I'm using music for a couple of them tonight. he's terrified of being alone. It's cool that they speak and dress just like him, or at least he speaks and dresses just like them. It's not a lot to build a lasting friendship on, and he's desperate to prove himself again. Can I belong? I will be strong when I'm with you. I can belong, I'll go along with what you do. I'll ignore my fearful heart just as long as I'm a part, because a part of something's better than just me. Jamak messed things up with his old gang. That's what they tell him anyway. He blames himself and thinks he can still make things right by capturing a girl who's gone astray. Young Kipo's straight up weird. She asks big questions, like, would you like to try a different way? He's got the chance to turn her in or be her friend. He doesn't like the choice, he runs away. Can I belong? Can I be strong when I'm with you? Can I belong and go along with what you do? Stuck here with this fearful heart, I just wish I were apart, because a part of something's better than just me. Jamak made his own way for a long time, observing old friends, wondering about new. The draw he felt to be the same was fading now, and he learned he could accept a different view. Jamak joined a team that fought for kindness, and everyone was equal, tribe and kin. It's everything to build a lasting friendship on, and no one had to prove that they fit in. I can belong, I can be strong when I'm with you, and it's not wrong when I believe in all we do. I'll let go this fearful heart and take pride in being part of this whole that's better when it's made with me. I'll let go this fearful heart and take pride in being part of this whole that's better when it's made with me. Thank you, Eric. So you can tell like why I'm just having so much fun playing these songs, right? They're fun and mostly upbeat and sweet, and I don't know, just I love it. I don't think I've ever had as much fun preparing for a specific concert as I did for preparing to record these songs. Just, I wasn't like stressed out practicing them. Oh, I got to get that chord right, or I got to remember this line or whatever. I was just like, yeah, these are fun. I got into it. So Tin Man, yes. I had sung a little while ago, Cylinder Becomes Unicorn, which explains a little bit more about the album title. And just the short version is the idea of sort of discovering yourself as an adult and growing into the new shape and the new person that you want to become. I think I've got one more for y'all tonight. So again, I will thank you. I will be doing another concert on the 11th. All the concerts are listed on my Facebook and my YouTube, and I'll be sending out an email in a little bit to my email list. If you're not on that, it comes with 7 free songs when you sign up. The links for all of that can be found on my website at singinglark.com. And that'll also link you to my Bandcamp, where you can listen to everything for free. At least everything I've released so far. So none of the songs that you're hearing tonight, they're not public domain yet. So the last one that I want to do for you, it's a parody, and you are welcome, April. It's a parody of a traditional Irish song from Kevin McCrell. And it was inspired when I was at RavenCon, and I got up Sunday morning and there was just like all this stuff still to do, and I was thinking, man, it's just this sensation that I bet almost every con goer gets, where you make it through maybe Thursday if it's a longer con, and Friday and Saturday, and you're just having a blast, and you hit Sunday and you're like, dear God, I'm exhausted, but there's so much more I have to do. So this is called Welcome to Sunday at Con. If you are a singing along kind of person, you can do that from home. You'll pick up on the chorus pretty quickly. Welcome to Sunday at Con. We're all a bit groggy, but we will press on. So much to cram in before we head home. Welcome to Sunday at Con. On Friday we came in elated. This homecoming, oh, for so long we have waited. And now we're dreading the hours till it's gone. Welcome to Sunday at Con. Welcome to Sunday at Con. We're all a bit groggy, but we will press on. So much to cram in before we head home. Welcome to Sunday at Con. 36 hours elapsed. We slept and ate little, but no one's collapsed. You'd think by now that we would have caught on. Welcome to Sunday at Con. Welcome to Sunday at Con. We're all a bit groggy, but we will press on. So much to cram in before we head home. Welcome to Sunday at Con. Saturday night was the peak, with music and panels and masquerades chic. We shunned our bedtimes and party till dawn. Welcome to Sunday at Con. Welcome to Sunday at Con. We're all a bit groggy, but we will press on. So much to cram in before we head home. Welcome to Sunday at Con. Welcome to Sunday at Con. We're all a bit groggy, but we will press on. So much to cram in before we head home. Welcome to Sunday at Con. Welcome to Sunday at Con. We're all a bit groggy, but we will press on. So much to cram in before we head home. Welcome to Sunday at Con. All right, thank you all so much for joining me for some music and some stories tonight. I was very happy to share that all with you. Just a reminder that if you like the concert and you want to share it on your page or send a link to somebody that you think might enjoy it, please feel free to do that. Or if you see a post that you like as I'm putting up draft versions of the song for the album and you want to share that, that is very helpful as well. And I appreciate all your support in being here. I will hopefully see some of you on the 11th. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.